Hi everyone, welcome to this very special segment. In front of you here are four adults who have experienced marriage and they have experienced separation and divorce. My friend here has told me not to say he's a divorcee, so I'll not say what he is, but he has experienced divorce. We all have. And what we want to talk about that is in line with mental health is the children, because we are also gifted with beautiful children, and children experience mental health as much as parents do. And we find ourselves, if we are not handling our mental health, we find ourselves taking our kids through a process as well. So my question to any of you guys who have experienced divorce, you're not divorcees, you have experienced divorce, is how do you take care of the children? How do you ensure that you're covering the children? I know we've talked about how we are taking care of ourselves, but how are you as a parent ensuring that you're covering your children or you're helping them go through this process with you so that at the end of the day, I know we help them, but we can only do so much, but what is that little that you're doing or that much that you're doing as a person who's going through this divorce?
All right.
Any of you can take it.
Yeah, looking at my own personal experience, it was a bit of a challenge at the beginning because there's a back and forth.
Yeah.
But I slowly began to learn that not to show them the frustration that I was having. So, and trying my very best never to talk ill of their mothers, number one. Okay, so it doesn't matter what is said on the other side.
Yeah.
From my side, I'm like, that is their mother, so I will not talk ill of their mother in any way.
Have you managed to maintain that?
Yes. Well, at the beginning it was a bit hard because you always want to defend yourself in case of something. Then I realized that's not the right way. So more and more I tried to stop talking about it, and with time I got to a place where, regardless of what was said, at times, my daughter would come and say, but mommy said this and that. I was like, no, but daddy loves you, right?
Yeah.
And daddy's always going to be there for you, right? And you see, so I bring it back to me because I do not want, if I don't have something good to say about the mother, then I'd rather not say anything.
Yeah.
And because the child has brought up that topic, I bring it back to me. I say, daddy loves you, mommy loves you, right? So, and I stop it at that. Then I now talk about myself. Over and above that, I got to the place where I also now introduced my children, especially the ones who were really affected, to the therapist. So there's a psychologist, and I know one of my kids who's really been affected. And it's, we got to a place where she saw the therapist for a while, but we're at a place where she's the one who says, I want to go see the doctor.
Oh.
Right? I want to go see Dr. Meragi. And when she says that, I schedule it. And when she goes, I'll talk to the doctor later. I'm not there with them, so I'll talk to the doctor later, and the doctor will say, okay, just focus on this and this and this. But you see, she feels safe. It's a safe space for her, because at that place, remember, she does not have to talk ill of her dad or her mom. She does not need to tell me if she's not happy with her mom. She does not need to tell her mom if she's not happy with me, because she loves both of us.
Yeah.
And no matter what she's saying, it's hard for her to take sides.
Yeah.
But she's able to tell the doctor.
Yeah. And the doctor is not partial.
And because as a therapist, he knows how to handle this.
Yeah.
And because of that, regardless of what's going on, she'll come and say, Daddy, you're the best daddy in the world. I love you so much. And I've seen a lot of, a lot of changes in her, a lot of confidence, because she knows I'm always going to be there. Right? Because again, obviously, the therapist will say, these are your parents. You do not need to choose. Yeah. There's no good or bad parent. So that is the direction that I have taken. And also in terms of just showing her and saying, when I failed, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I did wrong here. Okay, on this one, I'm sorry I'm not able to talk to your mother, but I will talk to you. Okay. And on things where I'm frustrated, I try not to put the frustration on her or explain in depth.
Okay.
Even the times.
But you can tell her something like, I'm frustrated with this situation?
Yes, but I'll not come and say, it's your mother who's done this, and your mother is wrong, and your mother is bad.
How old are your babies? How old are you?
25, 14, 7.
7. Okay. You live with them, if you don't mind my asking?
7-year-old, and there's the boy who's 15 as well. So I live with the 7-year-old permanently. The 14-year-old is now in boarding school, and the girl, the boy spends more time on his father's side because it's not my biological son. So that's why at times I don't mention him that much because it's mostly on that side.
Okay.
But then the other girl, she was in campus and now she stays in our own house. I take care of her, but yeah, she's on her own.
Okay. So what about you, Alice, the conscious coach? You have 2 children.
Yeah, but this consciousness has been growing over time.
Okay.
And at that point, consciousness was not there, at least not much. Yeah? And this is the thing, most of the time, when people are getting separated or divorced, it's not usually from a conscious point of, and yeah, this thing is not working, we shake hands, and we live in peace. Yeah. Most of the time, there's usually so much that has gone on, and it has just spilled over. There's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and all that. Yeah, and it's quite how do I put this? We forget. You can easily forget when you're going through that as an individual. You can forget that there are children that are going through the separation too. You're thinking, but okay, let me speak for myself. I was thinking, in fact, at that point, I was so hurt. I was in so much pain. Why? Because I thought I'd gotten married at 25, divorced at 35. So in my head, I was thinking, you know what? 10 years of my youth, like my best life, like I gave it to this man, and now I'm moving forwards with nothing to show for it. And now I'm going to be a divorcee with, how do I put this, like old goods, so to speak. Or so I thought at that point. So I was so resentful, and I'd talk to my friends or my family on phone, and my kids are there, and of course they're listening. It's amazing how when you're at that point and you're in pain, you don't think, but they are to you wanasikia.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, that man did, he did not, he said he did not, and we're there justifying how, it was his fault and all that. Funnily enough, or when my friends come over to visit and all that, we discuss when the kids are there. But when our minds are not there that the kids are there. But funnily enough, I'll take a break and tell Mish, bring me water. And of course she'll bring me, which means she is listening to a conversation. Yeah. So for me, I had to get to a point where I think that when I was doing my own self-awareness journey, it hit me, wait a minute. You're not the only one who's going through pain here. The kids have also lost. They've lost out on a father. And this father was present because we were living together. Then all of a sudden, they are getting used to this new life. They don't see the guy. I remember when we had just split up, I had moved back home to my parents' house. So we didn't, I think he only saw them once. Then when now I got my own house, I was so mad at him. I was like, don't even, don't. Yeah. And I had to, how do I put this? I had to call myself for a meeting, and go like, wait a minute, Jambi, just hold on. You have issues with him, and you have issues with him as a man or as a husband, but he's their father. They have no issues with him. So no matter how hurt you are, no matter how resentful you are, just know. And that time, and I thank God, I was going through my own study and my own self-awareness journey, and learning about emotional wounds, and knowing, by the way, Jambi, you feel nice talking badly about this man, but you're putting on emotional wounds on your children. Yeah. And these wounds will be transferred to your grandchildren. So do you want 20, 30 years from now to deal with pain that this grandchild is dealing with now because you could not have,
called yourself.
Exactly. And let me tell you, it's not easy. There are times when the guy would promise the kids, I don't know, shoes or something, and he doesn't show up. He doesn't bring the shoes. So I'd go to Bata or wherever it is, I buy the shoes and I bring them. And of course, my young son would be so excited. Eh, Dada, I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking, oh my God. Oh, Then after that, I just smile and say, I'm in Unua. Why? Because I understand. I had come to a point where I had understood if I talk badly about this guy, I will only feel nice for a minute or two, but these kids will carry this for a
long time. Yeah. My sister Makatia, how many babies do you have? Oh, you're calling pastor now.
No.
Okay.
I'm just the numbers. You want the numbers of the government, or the numbers? Spiritual babies,
Biological.
the ones that I know of.
Oh Jesus!
Hallelujah! Glory to God who gives us life.
Yes.
God blessed us with 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys, 23, 19, 14, and 11. Nowadays I know the ages.
Before, I'm sure it was a struggle. You'd be like,
it was a struggle because somebody
you're
takes us.
Yeah.
Now here you
Now
are.
I have to remember their birthdays to cope with loving them. So 4 children. The reason why I say I'm not a divorcee, I'm a person who went through divorce, it's because of labeling. We live in a society where we label people, and when people label you, they deny you your rightful position, God-given position.
You stay in that position.
Yes.
It becomes
So once they label you, they want to manipulate you. They will even deny you jobs or deny you opportunities. But you're a child of God.
That is true.
I don't see in scripture people being labeled. When you go through surgery, we don't call you the name of that surgery. At we are lipitia surgery, CS. When mama ni ule wa CS. Ni baba kunaga CS. But I think my friends here have said something powerful. The reason also for labeling, I don't want my kids to be called watoto wa DVC. If I find you doing that, I will have a session with you, and it may not be a spiritual session.
They'll be laying of hands.
Yes, fivefold ministry. The reason here is, as she said very well, we need to know when I'm separating with my wife, these kids they didn't apply for this. And they are uprooted from one life. They are uprooted perhaps from where they have known as home. So from one home, from one parent, and they've grown up also with confidence in their father, confidence in their mother. And then all of a sudden, this child has to deal with the fact that their mother was unfaithful or their father was unfaithful. The information that is being shared, the reason for that parting. And so we need to find a better way of minimizing the pain of our children. It is pain enough or painful enough to the parents to separate. So how these parents now also deal going forward, we need to be aware, which in most cases, most parents are not aware. We start to fight over these kids. I've seen even parents go to school and they are fighting over their kids at a school, or they go to police. You take each other to the police stations, to courts. These cases can be handled to minimize the pain of the children. We have to value these kids. I have differences with my wife or my ex, and it is between me and her. And we come to a place where we cannot tolerate each other and live together. Can we end it amicably? Africans, Kenyans, we don't have to fight. We don't have to do these things. So let us find within ourselves, as I say, and I continue to say, ukiachwa, achika. You don't have to throw a tantrum and pull in kids and fight over kids. One of the things I remember I told my ex is, unataka watoi, wachukue. Just make sure they are having, everything, education and stuff, and I'll chip in to the point that I can. But we are not going to fight over them, because ultimately, like at my age, I'm somebody's son, mom and dad. Do I even care to go to mom or to dad? Dad died, mom is there. It doesn't make any, I just know I'm proud one, because he was from that side. But is there anything I'm deriving from that that is helping me today? No. So I'm thinking in the coming days, our children will only be happy. Mom loved me, dad loved me.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, ladies, you can attest to this. You raise these kids, you deny them the love of their father, or vice versa, the fathers you deny.
Yeah.
And then this child turns 14, 15, and they start to look for their father.
Yeah.
It's always going to happen.
Or
Yeah.
you educate them back up at a job, and then that's when they are looking for their father, and they tell you, I'm going to sort him out. I met my father, and then you're this bitter. So you die in your old age. You die very bitter, not against your husband, your ex, but now towards your children.
And the worst part of that is when they go and find the spouse that has not been in their life, and then they're told it was because your mother or your father kept me away.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to come. I wanted to do this, but I was kept away.
So I support therapy. Therapy for kids is very,
Yeah.
very important. But you have to work with them.
Yes.
There are those kids who may not embrace it, therapy, so you can't force it on them.
Yeah.
But they need to know there's a window. You realize this that we are going through is painful, not only to me, but to you people. And there are avenues where I am seeking help, therapy, and I would like you guys also to access it.
Yeah.
So when you are ready, please, let's go and do it. And so you give them time also to process, and at the right time, they may access it. Because also you don't take somebody to therapy who has not decided that they really need it, because you'll just be ticking boxes and saying, I took her or I took him.
Yeah.
But wait for that moment, talk them through it, the importance of this therapy and why you are supporting it, and then allow them to make a choice, the timing when they want to go in.
Therapy. Now, there's something that you have mentioned. It has come out on having no access to your children.
Yeah.
Are you with your children?
Yes, I stay with my children.
The mother has access to the children?
Yes, every weekend.
I stay with them.
The father has access to them? You stay with the children?
Well, my youngest daughter, the other one is in boarding school and we co-parent, so she comes to my place and she goes to mom.
All right. This is a very sensitive question, if you ask me. Why? Of course, it's sensitive because it has come out. But why do you think your partner or a partner denies the father or the mother access to a children?
You
Can I
work
answer
on it.
that?
Me teacher.
We all want to. Yeah. But why do you think that partner refuses that access?
Pain, emotional pain. You weaponize because at that point the only thing you have over that person is access. So you want them to feel tumesikia vibaya, hata wasikie vibaya. So at that point the only thing you have over them is access.
Is access. Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't understand. Fine, you feel you're the big person. Not you're the big person. You're the big person.
Won.
You won exactly.
Yeah.
You feel like you won.
You're the better
but
parent.
back to and that's another thing. We started. Unajua babako afanyangi. You know, like me, I'm the good person.
I'm the good
Babako hata amekunywa pombe, hata jalipa fees. And we forget we are inflicting, emotional father wounds, especially for us single mothers. And I really want to emphasize, because I know I've had my own experience with it, and I've seen it so much around, especially after the first phases of going through divorce, because of the pain, the resentment, the anger, the frustration, everything. We want to get back to the other person, and then what we do, we use what we have, which is access to the children, or even the way we speak to the kids, because we want to feel like we have won. Because when you ask me for a divorce, no one wins. But in fact, I get surprised when people ask me, who left? Did you leave or did he leave? In my own opinion, it doesn't matter, because for me to have left, I must have been in so much pain. For him to have left, the same thing. So no one wins in that divorce process, And unfortunately, and this happens so much with single women, nimekasirikia babake, so unless babake natoboka do, hakuna kitu. I've seen people saying, you know what, I'll give you, if you're my child, I'll give you the phone, ambia babako una viatu. And maybe I just want to go out. Or I want to buy myself a dress.
Or you say, babako akununulie simu akitaka kukuongelesha.
Yeah.
And you cut the communication.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Okay.
But to add on to what she's saying, two things I think. Our cultural orientation can make one parent behave in such a way, come out in a way that is not acceptable or healthy to the kids. One, we have tribes in Kenya, and some tribes, they believe children belong to the man, and some tribes believe children belong to the lady.
That's my tribe.
So when, okay, thank you. I'm African, so I'm a tribeless. But then when you come to separation, you who you've been raised knowing that children belong to the woman, you will fight over these kids, and you can do crazy things to have them. And if you are with your hubby is a person who comes from, not your hubby, your ex, is a person who comes from a tribe where they believe kids belong to. So imagine that war. So cultural orientation, and that's why we need, especially where there's cross-cultural marriages, when this separation is happening, we need to stop and think, why is she so hard on this equation here? Why is she pushing for this? And why is he pushing for this? So we need to find a middle ground in between, between these two, and help them to think through. And that's why perhaps Christianity, for me what helps me is the fact that this child needs their mother.
Yeah.
This child needs their father. I will not celebrate. I remember there is a time I was celebrating when my kids would tell me, "Staki kwenda kwa mom." I'm like,
yeah, you feel nice.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I need to record this.
It can be used somewhere.
But I started to talk to them and tell them, you know what you need, your mother.
Yeah.
How you're created and crafted, it's unfortunate we have this, but you need to spend time with your mother, and she needs you. The same way I need you and you need me. So this is why we have come up with this arrangement of co-parenting. The animal called co-parenting it's another animal we need to talk about, because in this country, in Africa, the animal called co-parenting refuses to graze. It doesn't work always in this community. However, it is that realization that these kids need father, need mother, and then we release them to enjoy that. Let me just stop so that we can...
Yeah, I really like what my dad has always told me the first time that, I was like, I'm very stressed there because, my kids and, whatever maybe they've been told on the other side, and say, Tony, I'll tell you one thing, and this is something you should always remember. The good thing that you have going for you is that your kids are of age. The moment you have a child who is 3 years and above, they know their father.
Yeah.
So if the mother wants to stay with them, let her stay with them. Just make sure you provide. If she decides you're never going to see them, it's hard, but it's fine. Just remember, the children already know their father. They will come back. Our children belong to us. They will come back to you. Okay. And he always told me that. So for a period of time, because I'm one of those who I would see my children maybe once or twice in a year. Not because I wanted to, but I would love to see them every day. But, I remember there's a time, just before I was separating, my dad said, if you're staying with the kids and it's a struggle, and you do not want Tony to stay with the children, give me the children. I will never ask for a single cent. I will not ask for fees. You will not, you can come and see them anytime. This will be neutral ground. And you will always be able to see the children. And they refused. So I was going through this, and he told me, your children know you. They will never forget you. So do not worry. They will find you.
Okay. All right. Maybe I can add something that none of you mentioned. One of the reasons why a parent can choose or tries to choose to keep the children away from their father or their mother, from my perspective,
Countries here.
is because sometimes you find, let me talk from a female perspective, you find that the father of the children is a blockade to you and your progress. Okay? First of all, they're not stepping up as fathers. And fathers is not just about provision. There is the protection bit of it, and there is the presence, especially for girls. There is a certain modeling that a father is supposed to do for the future of these girls who are going to choose partners in the future. So you find that somebody has decided that their role remains only at provision, and when it comes to protection and being present, they're outsourcing that to somebody else. All right? So you realize that you need to either be in a position where they have a father figure in their life who can actually provide this. But then you find that when you have somebody who's trying to step in because of, sorry gentlemen, the egotistical bit of your nature, you find that now you're fighting the woman because you don't want her to progress with a different partner who is accepting or the responsibility to father these children, but because it is hitting on your ego, you start fighting the woman. So now you start fighting from that perspective, and the woman decides.
I will sorry.
I don't want.
See, on that particular one, I hear where you're coming from. It's a story of toxicity, but you know, with children, and children are very, very sharp and very bright, and they see.
Yes.
And even when they don't see, they get to an age when they begin to see.
Yes.
So do not hold the children from that person. Right? Talk to your partner or the person, the father figure that you, and say, look, this is what's happening. But I trust you to be able to be able to be there because you've stepped up and you say you want to be there for the kids.
Yeah.
Right? And so you'll find that the child sees when I'm with dad, dad is insulting mom, dad is saying all these things, but when I'm with mom, she's not doing the same. And when I'm with this person, right, or when he's around, in fact, he even agrees to be the one to drop me. So the child gets to a place and sees where the toxicity is coming from.
Yeah.
When I look at my mom, when dad does this, I can see she's not happy. And I want to protect my mom. But when I see him come, the way he treats me, and I can see it in my mom's eyes, I can see the body language, I can see we're happy. There's always tension when my dad is there.
Yeah.
So you see, you let the child, and that's why I'm saying, if you do that and you're taking your child for therapy, it doesn't become you, unless outright there's going to be harm.
Yeah.
You're not putting yourself in a place where he can come and say, your mother blocked me. Because that's what you're doing. Yes, you're doing it for the right reasons, but then it will not be viewed like as such. So you come and you say, I will ensure good will always overpower evil. So yes, you have access, and let the child see. But then you'll be very surprised. The child will be able to say, I like being here. And even and the best part about this is that the child will always talk about, oh yeah, we did this, oh yeah, when we were laughing and all this, and that person, because they're toxic, they'll get to realize they have it's an issue on their side. The best defense that you can ever have is when they try to fight you, do not respond.
Let me chip in. You know what I thought you were going
No
to
messages,
say?
no nothing. Women find it very hard to do that. Just don't respond.
I thought you touched on it a little bit, but it didn't come out outright. The challenge comes in when this lady, the mother or the father, starts to date.
Yeah.
And so when Wanjiku here, she's seeing somebody else who is so nice to her and the children because she's coming as a package. One as if you're a son.
Amen.
So she's a package.
Amen.
You know.
Fully loaded.
Yeah.
Package.
And yeah. So when you are there are challenges there. Of course, ego will come in.
Yeah.
But for me, the key guide there is your children will never have another father.
That's true.
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 We have to keep it to the core of our hearts. This man who is coming in may father or may support, but they have a father, and that's their father. Where I come from, they say "Shin in a shin." That is Greek
Yours
for
is yours.
yours is yours. Whether he is blind, whether he is lame, he can't do ABCD, he is their father, or she is their mother.